her crime dramas. So that's going to be July 18th. Then, like I said, we got the Red, White, and Booze Cruise coming up May 15th through May 20th. Then we got Beers and Betties. This is the 4th annual celebration to support Roll Call, and that's going to be on July 25th at Shotsky's over in Fort Worth. Now, Beers and Betties, if you don't know what Roll Call is? Roll Call is a luncheon that is held every month here in Fort Worth, and it usually feeds close to 500 of our veterans, all the way from the World War II era all the way up to present. And they have speakers, and it's a sit-down meal for our veterans. But in July, it's a little too hot, so they don't do it in July. They take that month off. So the Battling Betties of North Texas have stepped up for the 4th year in a row, and they host a Beers and Betties. And they've had to move it a couple of times because it's just growing larger and larger and larger. And Shotsky's here in Fort Worth has generously opened up their doors to host this event. There's going to be music bingo. There's going to be a lot of prizes, a lot of auctions going off, and all that money goes directly to Roll Call to help provide for our veterans. Robert DeMarco, the author of The Line That Held, it's one of the best-selling books out there here on Amazon. He has donated a signed copy to the Battling Betties to auction off. So all that money will go back to Roll Call as well. So that's going to be on July 25th. So mark your calendars. July 4th, tickets go on sale for Celebrity Softball. Then that's going to be at Ryder Stadium here in Frisco, Texas. Man, if you've never been to a softball game filled with jam-packed with celebrities, athletes, movie stars, singers, patriots, law enforcement, you have to come out to Celebrity Softball Classic on that day. Tickets are like $20. Parking is free. You're not spending $12 on a beer, and you have direct access. Your kids have direct access to all their favorite stars. From the Yellowstone cast last year, we had people from all over the place. We have the athletes, Dallas Cowboys. We have baseball players. It's all out there, and they will sign autographs for your kids, man. No adults, just the kids. Kids get a front row seat up there so they can converse and shake hands with all their favorite players. And that's going to be on September 12th. So get your tickets while they last. Tickets will go on sale July 4th at celebritysoftballclassic.org. TK will be in next week as a veteran. He is going to be here. He'll tell you more about that as we get closer and closer and closer. Laurie, back on? All right. Well, let me just give some big shout outs too. Texas, actually, it's been great, man. We've had the World Cup here in Arlington, Texas, and it has been a pleasure with all of the countries that have been coming in, all the visitors that have been coming in to North Texas to celebrate and to enjoy the World Cup. And I got to tell you, North Texas, you guys are stepping up, because New York, you guys are what they call fucking up. Texas, we're stepping up. New York, you are fucking up, because I'll tell you right now, you have really, really showed your true colors for the Knicks celebration. Here we are at the World Cup, one of the biggest events, bigger than the Olympics, and we have people cleaning the stadiums. We have people cheering with each other, holding hands, hugging, having a great time, laughing, learning each other's cultures. And New York, what do? It's like Escape from New York out there, man. You're burning buses, busting up police cars for a celebration for the Knicks. Why can't you just celebrate and enjoy? But no, you gotta break shit up. So let's talk about some of the standings that are going on. We got USA in Group D, man. They are right now in the number 1 spot. We got Germany in Group E. We have the Netherlands in Group F at the number 1 spot. We got Mexico in Group A in the number 1 spot. We got Canada in Group B in the number 1 spot. And we got Brazil in Group C. And the list goes on and on, man. If you are not following this, is an exciting time to watch this. So check out the World Cup and be a part of this event, man. It only comes around once every 4 or 5 years, man, and this is a big one. So we're gonna take a little break. We're gonna hear we'll just take a little quick break, and then we'll bring on Laurie Montoya with Biker Down, and we're gonna hear all about what's going on in the biker community right after this.
Red lips, tied up curls, high heels, flag unfurled, Lone Star stitch, on their seams. Sunday drives and freedom dreams. They roll up to the VA gate. Coffee cards, they're never late. Laugh lines, old stories glow. They salute, then steal the show. Hey! Battling Betty's of Texas. Country first in their hearts. Pin up smiles, standing at attention. Teasing waves, vintage art. For every soldier, every medic on call, every siren. In the dark of the fall, they bring hope, bring heat, bring charm. Like a hook, like a shield, like an arm.
Hey, welcome back to the 99% Radio Network. I want to bring on Laurie Montoya with Biker Down. What's going on, Laurie?
It is freaking hot here in Colorado. Let me just tell you.
Hey, you may get a new addition to Colorado.
Who?
Well, could I say? Oh, well, Chance right here behind the board may be taking up a new employment opportunity over there in Colorado.
Well, we won't let him leave you, so I'll just beat him up, and he'll get scared of Colorado. And then
he said he wanted to be closer to Laurie.
Does he ride?
He does.
There you go. Well, here I'll be hounding him to get the Biker Down membership every time I see him. But maybe we could do a satellite show.
Yeah, there you go. We'll put him. He can run the show from Colorado.
There you go. There you go. I got room. I'll roll up an extra chair, whatever he needs. So
hey, that's a nice hat today you're sporting.
Yeah, I'm. It's been straw season, but in the early spring in Colorado, you can still wear your felt, and but it's pretty darn hot today. I think it's 96.
Oh, geez.
And so I was emptying my trailer from being up in Aspen this past weekend. And I did the Aspen Food and Wine Food Classic for Maker's Mark, bourbon, whiskey, bourbon. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, Maker's Mark. I drink it. I love Maker's Mark.
Yeah. You know what? I never was a whiskey or a bourbon fan until they started making cocktails, signature cocktails over, that day. And I was like, oh my God, this is so good. Give me another one, I was sold. So yeah, definitely enjoyed that and got to meet a lot of, event coordinators. Like if you're Jack Daniels and you want to go to Sturgis and you want someone to coordinate everything. So all you got to do is fly in. So I met them, people from all over the country. And if 1/3 of them, hire us to do more private activations, it could be a phenomenal opportunity for a wide open hat company. So I was kind of sporting my straw today. I got sleeveless on. It's really
looking good.
Yeah. I can do Texas.
Hey, I saw a video popped up. I guess it was on your memories that you shared the other day, and I think it was like 10 years ago. You were showing your first trailer, and I was just like, you have not changed.
Well, I really appreciate that because when stuff pops up on my memory board and I see myself 100 pounds heavier, I'm just like, oh my gosh. And my husband all the time, God love him, is always like, you're prettier now than when I met you 14 years ago. And I'm like, oh, stop, and stuff. So I really appreciate that because, we got to age well and outlive everybody and stuff. So
hey, listen, us men always give the compliments. We need dinner. We gotta
it's exactly
we need
right.
someone to cook dinner, so we gotta say what it is to get fed.
What was really funny was after the event was over, we had to get both my hat shapers to the airport, and we were 3 hours away what was it? I can't remember. We were 3 hours away and their flight left in 2 hours. So I started
That's
taking
that's not
video.
good. That doesn't add up.
I started taking, luckily it was late at night, but I started taking video of Chomper, you know, going wide. I mean, like he was racing for NASCAR, because if we didn't get him out that night, it was going to be like $1,000,
Oh,
because the tickets were non-refundable. I had to get him hotel rooms, and I would have been happy to spend it, but he's like, $1,000, fuck that. And bam, and we've got this truck and a trailer behind us. My stuff went everywhere. But so I took a video of it. I said, this is what it looks like coming down the mountain, but you got to be in the airport in 2 hours and you're 3 hours away. So
wow.
it was, he, kudos to my husband, because
But you made it, right?
we did, and they got on. Then the one time, and I was laughing because there's really nothing you could do when you're that far behind. And I just said, every freaking time I fly Frontier, I'm delayed, and it's another delay. The one freaking time I need that flight delay, oh no, it's on time. So we dropped him off. I went, okay, we're done. And they both got to their gates and their flight was delayed 20 minutes. It was fun though. We had
That's
a
fun.
really great time. We made over 55 hats in
Wow.
4.5 hours and stuff. So it was a real team effort to get these people sized and decorated and everything else. It was great.
That's
But
really cool. That's cool.
back to why I do this segment is to talk about motorcycle accidents. And to be honest with you, we can't reiterate enough to you guys, everyone listening, that our brothers and sisters and family members are going down and getting killed at record breaking numbers. I mean, it's just sad to say every year that we are surpassing the pivotal point where we were the year before. And, especially here in Colorado, people keep saying, well, why is that? Well, one, we barely had a winter. So we have more year round riding and things like
Yeah.
that. But the problem is that it's just so many people miss navigating the turns. I
Yeah.
mean, it really, really is. And that we can't blame on the drivers. I can blame you when a driver comes over the center line, but when you're navigating turns that much, this frequently, that is a sure sign that you need to learn how to downshift your bike, not rely on your brakes, and you really need to slow the hell down.
Yeah. It's or you're taking a turn, you're not navigating the turn correctly. And we're seeing that over and over and over again here in Texas. I think in the last week, I think I've seen 6 or 7 motorcycle accidents, 3 of which were fatalities.
Yeah.
Uh, just from either lane splitting or excessive speed. You had a lane splitter the other day. Up, there's your puppy. You just, we can't rely on drivers. I mean, we have to drive defensively.
Yeah, I mean, we absolutely do. And I don't know, I always tell people it's cooler to be covered. I tell people when the light is yellow, shift down fast. Your friends will wait for you.
Yeah.
So many people even bikers are running red lights, or it's red, and you don't always know if those lights are synced completely.
Yeah,
You people going through a yellow into red, and that person already has a green.
you get hit at an intersection, there is no coming back from that.
No,
You get hit
there's
at somebody
not.
that's going to run in a red light, there is no coming back from that, man.
You get a
Intersections are dangerous.
driver making a left turn, and we all hate to sit in traffic. We do, but we've got to. Green doesn't always mean, I would say green doesn't mean go. Green for us means go, but you got to look both ways to see if anybody's coming. We're just getting to a point where it's just mind-boggling how many people are getting hurt and how many families are affected. I had one in Maryland yesterday, right outside of Washington, D.C., And these two people were at an intersection, and this 19-year-old was making a left turn, but she was going at a full rate of speed. Do you know what I'm saying? So she was trying to get through that light.
Right.
And I mean, the passenger on the back may never wake up.
Jesus.
She may never wake up. He's got a broken neck and broken ribs, and he has full coverage, and so it's a really interesting conversation to have with somebody like a family member like that, saying like, okay, we need to get you an attorney. Well, she's only 19 years old. I said, do not let the age or the fact that she's a young teenager distract you or give empathy to the fact that she was speeding through a turn. She probably shouldn't have been turning, and somebody owns that car.
Yeah.
And you're not suing her. She's not going to jail. But
Right.
but the truth of the matter is you have life-changing injuries. You have full coverage that's only going to carry you so far. But he did have, and God bless him, he did have underinsured and uninsured motorist coverage. But we don't know yet what the driver or the dad has on that car. So
Right.
now we also have to think about the fact that this passenger, does everybody not know that I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're getting calls.
I'm telling you, it's my mom. I better call her back. But people don't, now she's going to have to sue not only her boyfriend,
Right.
but the driver.
Yep.
And that's a really awkward conversation to have with a family member. Of not, you have to be prepared that the girlfriend's family are going to get legal counsel, and they're going to sue not only the driver, but they're going to sue the boyfriend. Please don't be offended by that.
He won't be getting dinner.
Yeah, he will not be getting dinner, that's for sure. Yeah, and they, but thank goodness he has that extra coverage and everything else, because it could be that the dad has $25,000 liability only. I mean, can you imagine taking out two people on a bike and having $25,000 liability, having to split that? And that was another thing that I was going to kind of talk to you guys about today, is why you need to have underinsured and uninsured motorist coverage. And the reason is that when you have 25, and I wish Glenn was on this week, but when you have $25,000 liability only on a driver and they hit you, a lot of the lawyers that aren't reputable lawyers will take the case.
Because they're going to get something.
Because they are going to get something. There's also a lot of good lawyers, and I'm sure I really would love to. I know Glenn's answer, but a lot of them will say, listen, there's just nothing for you to get. Let me just help you really quickly negotiate this and get you your $25,000. Because when it's a bad accident and you have no more that you can get, a lot of times the insurance company is a lot quicker to pay the settlement. And so, but just think about that, your whole life is turned upside down, and the driver that hit you, and they'll go, well, she's got State Farm or USAA. I'm like, well, I don't care what the brand is, I care what the coverage is.
And that's why we go back again, man. These billboard lawyers, these billboard lawyers are only out to make a buck. They'll eat up everything that you're supposed to get, and they'll give you, a quarter of your settlement, and that's not even going to pay your emergency room bills.
What's not even the 25,000 isn't, but also the fact that, look at the amount of work that lawyer would have to do for you to try to negotiate down the medical bills.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really, really, just so sad. And I mean, I did a little check that,
Do we lose you?
It's the third time my mom's called, so I will have to call her back.
Okay, call her back.
No, she's not doing 9.
We'll listen in. We'll listen into the conversation.
Yeah, it probably won't be very fun. But we've lost 28. We've had 28 fatalities up to June in Colorado.
Now let me ask something. With Biker Down, do you guys keep statistics like on speed, road conditions, age of drivers? Do you guys
No,
keep the statistics?
CDOT does that. And I always hate those statistics, quite honestly, because most of the time CDOT tends to focus more on, did they have a helmet on? Did they not have a helmet on? I shouldn't probably say this, but I don't fault you if you're at a biker bar and had a burger and a beer,
right,
and got on your bike. Okay. If you're sitting there having, tons of fireballs and beers, and then you put a passenger on the back and everything else, I'll be super upset with you. But I'm just saying, those are the kind of statistics that, do they have their endorsement? Do they not have their endorsement? There are plenty of bikers out there that have been riding so long that they are, not that they shouldn't get their endorsement, but I don't fault someone for that. So I don't always keep that. I know from just knowing the people that I talk to that primarily it's left turns, it's distracted driving by the driver. But that's what I'm saying. I'm starting to see an awful lot of biker rider error and single vehicle accidents. I mean, it used to be, Johnny hit a deer and Kelly hit a squirrel and everything else. But it's not even livestock anymore. It's so much of this, I hit a dog and I hit this and I hit that, or I navigated the turn and went into a barrier. I mean, it's really, I'm just asking people that are listening to please slow down in your turns. If you're, there's a reason most of the time that they say on those turns 45 miles an hour.
Right.
And it isn't just the sport bike riders, it's Harley riders, it's across the board. So
Harleys don't handle those turns like a sports bike. A sports bike's going to be able to navigate those turns a little better because it's lighter and it's going to hug the curve a little bit better.
But it also right out of the box will go 0 to 100 in how many seconds.
Yeah.
I used to say that in the snowmobile world when people would watch snowmobile people racing, and then they would go buy a Yamaha snowmobile right out of the box that was race ready. The truth of the matter is in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, sport bikes out of the box should not be racetrack ready.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because too many young kids, too many inexperienced drivers are.
In their defense, they will spend the money for the Knox armor in the back of their jackets, on their elbows, kangaroo leather with Kevlar on their knuckles. So they will invest in the safety gear to not only make them look cooler, but it makes them look. Okay, hold on. Are you okay? Hi, I gotta call you back.
Laurie, talk to your mom. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a quick break.
I was in an accident 12 months ago to the day. I was driving on southbound Santa Fe, and somebody did a suicide left in front of me, and I T-boned him at 45 miles an hour. From that point forward, I don't remember anything for the next 18 days because I was in a coma.
She broke 9 bones, lacerated my spleen, put me in the hospital for 21 days. I remember none of it.
Biker Down was founded in 2011 after riding several rides over the summer and seeing, tragically, my friends get injured. And I felt that there was a need missing in Denver and in Colorado for an organization that helped the biker community. As you may know, the bikers are one of the most charitable entities out there, and what we do is provide them a variety of services such as medical equipment, financial assistance if necessary, and a plethora of resources to help them stay afloat during the hardest time in their life, which is their recovery. My biggest hope is that I'll never get another phone call that a biker's gone down, but that's not realistic. So I think my true realistic dream is that we can help as many as we can help, because it is life-changing for them. certainly donating and volunteering your time. And even if you can't do that, attend our events. You know, attend our event and get a $20 t-shirt for your $20. You know, those kind of things make a big difference in a small nonprofit like ours.
Hey,
Sorry
welcome
about
back to the You're good, Laurie. Welcome back
okay.
to the 9% Radio Network with Laurie Montoya over in Colorado. Man, is mom okay?
Mom is fine, but I do need, after my segment, I do need to call her. Okay, couple things. Just please, everybody, make sure you get underinsured and uninsured motorist coverage. It's absolutely the best thing that you can ever get. Trust me, it'll cost you about an extra $100 a year. Give up a Starbucks or two a month. Okay, in good news, the women riders broke the world record for the most women motorcycle riders gathered at one event. Australia held the record for like 8 years. And we tried it here in Colorado and in Chicago and actually Rockford, Illinois. The 1,433 women ascended there, and they broke the record by 431 women riders. So
Wow.
while all this other cool stuff is going on all over the country, the women brought the gold back to the USA from Australia. So take that, Australia.
You know,
And,
many women, so many women are jumping off the back of the bike and getting on their own bike and empowerment. I think it's amazing. It's so great to see so many other women riders out there.
well, you know, for a long time, women rode on the back, but women now make their own money. A woman can walk in a dealership and buy her own bike and take control of a ride. And if you're a single person, you know, I remember, you know, when you broke up with the guy and you heard the bikes roar on Saturday, and then you didn't have anybody to ride with. So then you'd get online and you'd pay someone $30 to ride on the back, and they would misunderstand.
Really?
Think that you used to buy a back seat.
Buy a ride?
You used to buy a back seat. Yeah, we used to do that.
Oh my God.
Biker or not. Remember Biker or Not? Oh my God.
Oh my God, I never heard of that.
Oh,
you
yeah.
just pay $30 for somebody you ride on the back of his bike?
Yeah, you just caught it's people that were in your group, and you'd say, hey, I want to do that ride. Has anybody got a back seat open? And it would be appropriate to, you know, help with gas, buy him lunch. But then you're riding on the back, and then they sort of kind of begin to misunderstand.
Oh,
and next thing you know, so next thing you know, the woman's like, hell no, I'm going to go get my own bike. So yeah, you're seeing what I always really admire though. And I went to one of these women camping things where it was nothing but women riders out in Durango. And you know, I'm getting
a good visual. Bunch of women bikers at a
all camping. And but my point is that I'm a woman biker, but I've got my toy hauler and my comforts and my Elon Musk and my generator and my refrigerators and everything else. And I watched some of these old school women bikers come in and with a rolled up pack, and they had everything tied perfectly on the bike, and they were like so badass. I mean, they put miles on. You know, and I mean, I'm not ditching us women riders. We all love to ride, but those women were riding when women riding wasn't cool.
That's hardcore. That's hardcore.
Yeah, real hard. I mean, I know guys that wouldn't camp like that. You know, I mean, it was really, really cool.
And then cool. They're living the lifestyle, man. They're loving the lifestyle, and that's what it's all about. It's about the open road. It's about sleeping under the trees, and that's you got to embrace that.
That's why I have a freewheeler, so I can pack all my happy stuff. And I have a little trailer that goes behind there. But the other thing, I heard you mention a little bit about the Red, White, and Booze cruise, and I talked to Mary really quick today. The flash sale is still going on.
Still going on.
Yeah. So that flash sale will go on until they are done selling this lot of rooms. So I want to remind everybody, an ocean view balcony for 2 people on Royal Caribbean is $2,124.
That's an amazing price. You can't get that price anywhere else, man.
Yeah.
For the amount of fun and for
that you're going to have.
Exactly.
Hell, the food I could eat you out of $500, you know, and
Right.
cocktails and everything else. All of the drinks aren't included, but you're going to, if you book now, you're going to get that $300 break, which if you just mentally keep that in the back of your mind and wait until Black Friday or around Christmas, they're going to run phenomenal deals to get you to book your drink package. And in the long run, it's going to be very close to being included. The interior room for 2 people. So some people, you know, a balcony isn't that important. They really just want a bed.
Right.
2 people can do it for $1,770. I mean,
That's
$900.
5-day vacation on the water with
Yeah.
the Moonshine Bandits.
With us, with the 99.
With the 99 and Biker Down, man.
Yeah.
Actually, Mary just sent me all the flyers. I got the flyers in the mail that we're going to be handing out at all our events throughout the summer.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're going to be handing those out. And when the 99 gets on, I mean, hopefully we can do some interviews. We can do some broadcasting.
I want to broadcast live. I think it'd be awesome to have them on and broadcast live, and try to be sober for that, but I can't make any promises. But for people that are solo cruisers, because I used to get this a lot with High Seas Rally, you know, you can do a solo pricing. So there's a lot of people that are going by themselves and they don't want to bring a second person.
Or a third person if you're a throuple.
I almost said third person. But an ocean view solo balcony is $1,750. So still for 5 days, and an interior solo is $1,400. So
you can't stay at the Hilton. You can't stay at the Hilton on land in a community because that's going to be $300 a night.
Yeah,
you know, for 5 days.
And if you like Goat, if you've ever watched the Full Throttle series that used to be on, Goat's going to be there. He's the MC. So you know that Goat and Bird and all them are going to bring some other really cool entertainment, and that red, white, and blue night and everything. So I just really wanted to say that if anybody is interested, you only have to leave, I think, a $200 or $300 deposit today. Book it while you can get these pricings, because once they sell out of these, they're going to go to the next level and you're not guaranteed that pricing. So we want to see you. We want to get everybody to go, we ride, we cruise with the 99. And,
oh yeah. Do we have a host hotel yet in Galveston?
We don't, but I'm sure that Mary will get one. You know, we'll crawl before we walk. Let's fill up that ship. And then I know they do plan on doing something like that. And hell, if we got to get a booze bus to pick up people in Houston, and we'll booze bus everybody down to Galveston.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that, because we are getting such a great response here in the DFW area about this booze cruise. We have some of the High Seas Rally crew. Yep. Remember Jamie Pete and Jason Pete from the High Seas Rally? They're up here in Rockwall. They reached out. I think they are booking.
I want the Bodines. I want the Bodines.
The who?
The Bodine. Jeffrey Bodine.
Oh, yeah. I hope they come on. We can reach out and tell them about it. But fucking Frankie Fiella is coming from New York. He's going to be flying out here. He's going to stay here. We got Johnny Rizzo and maybe Dawn going to be from here from Motorcycle Mayhem. So we're going to all be staying at my house the night before.
Okay.
They're going to fly in. So we are definitely thinking about renting a bus to travel all of us down to Galveston. It'd be much cheaper, and then have a bus pick us up and travel us all back. If you're
going to do that, I'm flying to Dallas instead of
Yeah, and then we could just rent the party bus and go from DFW straight down.
We'll call it the Red, White, and Bus Cruise.
I will rent a 40-passenger Greyhound bus to go from DFW to Galveston if we get enough people.
There we go. I'm ready. And if I don't go to there, you just got to drive by Hobby and pick me up.
Well, if you land in Houston, where are you going to land? I'll pick you up wherever you're going to land. Yeah.
There you go. I'll be like this. with my big suitcases. But anyway, anybody that's booking, email mary@airwaytravel.com and use the code Full Throttle. And that's all I had for today. Now I got to call my mommy.
All right. Well, Laurie, thank you so much for helping co-host. Well, Pitbull is out. I know Mongo's going to be coming on in a minute. We're doing a little FAFO segment. So it's going to be a little fun thing that we're going to start every week.
And he got his ticket, so he's super excited.
Yes.
So.
I'm going to probably fly out. Me and Tigger are going to probably fly out to Vegas and just meet him and Roxy for dinner one night before the game and just spend a little time with him and Roxy before the game. Well,
if you guys need any help, you let me know.
I appreciate it, Laurie. Well,
Love once you guys. Again,
thank you, Laurie Montoya with Biker Down. Biker Down is all over the country. They have a free app. Just go on bikerdown.org and you can download the app in your city, in your state, and be a part of something and feel safe when you ride. So we're going to take a quick break. Then we're going to bring on Mongo. Then we're going to wait for our guests to come in a little bit. And we're going to do a little FAFO when we bring Mongo back on. And that's going to be a little new segment that we're going to show each and every week just to keep the laughs up. And we'll be back after this.
Here we go. Straw hats, flip-flops, coolers and brews. Taillights, tattoos, yeah, she's red, white, and booze. Sunshine, good times, tied up pontoons. Taillights, tattoos, yeah, she's red, white, and booze.
Hey. Got the whole boat bouncing like a trampoline. Light up the stash like it's gasoline. Boom, boom, like the fourth Uncle Sam and we. Lit like a fire on the sandy beach. Ain't no lightweight, does it the right way. Post Malone, I got another Bud Light race. Tatch on the back, getting high and sideways. The tan on the thigh, still bright from light rays. Make them waves when the Spotify plays. In your black bikini, in your black fly shade. Show the rest of the world how you love to get loose. All American girl, red, white, and booze.
Straw hats, flip-flops, coolers and brews. Taillights, tattoos, yeah, she's red, white, and booze. Tattoos, yeah, she's red, white, and booze.
Look at little mama, she got a little drama. Now hop the big booty up in the super duty. We're gonna take it to the lake for the day, then later on the night we all gonna get right. Fire up the green, call up the team. Might see some things you ain't never seen, like 3 girls playing Twisted Naked. Heard birds saying I can't take it. Text screaming out shake it, shake it. Good Lord, I hope we all make it. Don't worry about us, we gon' be fine. Shout out to them girls with tattoos and tan lines.
Straw hats, flip-flops, coolers and brews. Taillights, tattoos, yeah, she's red, white, and blue. Sunshine, good times, tied up pontoons. Taillights, tattoos, yeah, she's red, white, and blue. Straw hats, flip-flops, coolers and brews. Taillights, tattoos, yeah, she's red, white, and blue. Sunshine, good times, tied up pontoons. Taillights, tattoos, yeah, she's red, white, and blue.
My name is Art Lee. I invented LifeVac to protect my family. Protect your family. Buy LifeVac now.
Thank you, Dad.
That was us over 10 years ago.
Now, LifeVac is responsible for saving over 2,000 lives from choking.
We started this company in our garage, just hoping to make a difference, because over 5,000 lives are needlessly lost each year to choking incidents.
Help LifeVac on our mission to save lives.
In the time it takes you to pick up the phone and call, another life could be saved.
LifeVac's patented design creates a one-way suction to remove food or objects obstructing airways. All you have to do is place, push, and pull. And just like that, LifeVac can save a life from choking.
Quite frankly, I thought I was going to die. The LifeVac saved my life in 1-2 seconds.
Get your very own LifeVac now and get 20% off. Visit lifevac.net or call 877-LifeVac.
As my personal promise to you, if you order a LifeVac and have to use it, LifeVac will replace it free.
LifeVac works on adults, teens, or toddlers and can be ready in seconds and last a lifetime, guaranteed.
Best of all, you can even use a LifeVac on yourself, the elderly, physically impaired, or those that other methods may not be possible or are dangerous. In the event of a choking emergency, you could save a life, even your own.
Thank you, Daddy.
Life is precious and time matters.
Choking can happen anywhere. Help us put a LifeVac in every home, school, restaurant, car, office, everywhere.
Protecting families has always been our mission. I'm sure you love your family like I love my daughter. Do us all a favor and get your own LifeVac now.
LifeVac saves lives. Order one for your home, the office. It also makes a great gift. Use promo code Jackie and save 20%. Don't wait another minute. A life might depend on it. Go to lifevac.net or call 877-LifeVac. That's lifevac.net or 877-LifeVac. Order now.
My name is Carol Sankey, and I ride with 99.
Hey, I'm Homie, and I ride on the 99. You can watch it every Wednesday, 99% Radio.
Hello, beautiful people. I am Chaz. I ride with 99, baby. Woo! 99% Radio every Wednesday. Stay tuned. Woo! Y'all be fantastic. All right.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back to the 99% Radio Network. Hey, you heard those drops. That was Chaz Taylor at the end, man. America. Follow Chaz on Facebook, man. He just came out with his own, Pokemon came out with his own little Chaz Taylor Pokemon card, and he's going to be streaming live on a wrestling event tonight. Check out Chaz Taylor. Follow him on Facebook. Share his stuff, man. He is patriotic. He is a great wrestler. And now he's got some Pokemon cards if you want to trade him. I want to bring on Mongo. Before his monologue, he's going to help co-host a little bit. Mongo, you there?
What's up, Sideshow?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm finally here. My computer just takes so long to log on.
How's the beautiful blue state of California?
It is, it's beautiful. But beyond that, beyond the beauty of the weather and the landscape, it sucks in California. But here I am.
What are gas prices today?
I actually filled up over the past couple of days because I made a trip to Southern California. Today, I think it's like $5.50.
Oh, it's a little better than $6.10.
Yeah, no, I'll take it. And I'm waiting for it to go back down a little bit lower, but I'll take $5.50. I really hope that that when the election comes up in November, that I can't think of the dude's name right now. I hope that we change and get a new governor, and he takes away some of these stupid. They've got so many add-on prices for gasoline out here in California. It's just ridiculous, and he's promising to take those off while he's in.
Well, yeah. I mean, every penny counts, man. Especially when people are tight in the pockets. Man, it does suck, and our prices here are around $3, so we're about $2 cheaper than you in California.
Yeah, well. I would expect to pay more, like $1 more than you guys back in Texas, but $2 more is it's just money that doesn't need to be spent. I mean, I don't even know where the money goes. Once we pay for it and the government gets it, I don't know what they do with it.
Oh, you know where it goes. You know where it goes. Yeah. It goes where the fraudulent hospice funds go, and it goes right into Newsom's pocket. That's where it goes. Gets him a new set of teeth and it is manicures.
And I had my doctor from my rehab doctor retired. I outlived him basically. He's still alive, but he's running a private practice now. So I had to get a new doctor. So my new doctor says, no, you got to come down and see me in person. So I drove down there. I sat in his, after they took my blood pressure, all that good stuff, I sat in the room for an hour before he called me into his office. And it was such a disappointment because he sat there hunched over his desk. The dude he looks like he's near death himself. And basically he said, okay, he started talking about cop stories. He just wanted to hear about stuff in the past. Didn't want to hear about my medical stuff. And then he goes, so I need you to come back. I need you to do some lab work and then come back and we're going to do a bunch of other stuff once you get back down here. It's like, dude, I said, it's not easy for me to make a run down to Southern California to do this medical stuff.
Right.
But that's what I've got in my future. After we get back from our Hawaii trip, I've got to make a run back to Southern California to see him and let him do all of this stuff. Fortunately, at least he's writing my scripts for my medication. So I'm back online with all the meds, but I hate making that drive. Although,
how long is it for you from where you are to Southern California?
Well, see, here's the thing. So yesterday or 2 days ago when I drove down there, I can drive from here in Napa all the way down to Santa Clarita on one tank of gas. It'll take me 5 hours.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But I did stop once, right when I got to the it's called the Grapevine, the one mountain between here and there where I got to go up and over and back down, and then I'm into the valley where I used to live. I filled up there, and then I drove. I had to actually drive down to Burbank because I had to get some money out of my bank that I've got down there that I can't access online because I'm an idiot. So I got a banker's check. I drove back to Santa Clarita, visited my daughter, visited a former partner of mine, and then I drove almost all the way back up to Napa on that same tank of gas that I filled up with. So I can do it with one stop if there's no females with me. But if there's a female with me, like my wife, I mean, the only female I drive with.
How many times you got to pee?
At least 3. So, and then the one stop that I made on the way back up here yesterday when I stopped in Patterson, because I knew exactly where I was going to stop. When I pulled into the gas station, and my truck needed the gas, and I needed to go to the bathroom. There were 2 tour buses there, and they were filled with Australians that were there following the World Cup.
Nice.
And then, well, it was nice, but while they were there, 4 more buses with Australians pulled up.
You couldn't get in the bathroom.
Now I got to use the bathroom with 4 busloads of Australians that also have to use the bathroom. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Were the Australians a little weird about how the toilet flushes? Because I heard in Australia it flushes the other way.
It does, and I should have asked.
It does, right?
I didn't bother to stop and ask. But it was they were at a pilot gas station, so it was one of those almost like a mini Buc-ee's because they got everything in there, right? Everybody was shopping, and there was a huge line. The line at the checkout stand was longer than the line for the bathroom because they all wanted to buy something.
Yeah, they all want to take some. I'll tell you, like here in Texas with the World Cup, man, the fans that have come in from the other countries have been phenomenal. They have been so respectful to all our businesses, to our police officers. They've really respected the city itself. How's it going in California with the fans?
I haven't heard any problems as far as I know, and I've been watching the games when I can. Everything's going good. I mean, everybody's having a good time. What I like is all these guys from other countries, Australia and countries in Germany, that are posting videos online on Facebook saying, no, because America's a lot different because all we heard was it's a shithole where everybody fights all the time and there's always problems. And these people are going to different food places and they're meeting people and they're enjoying our hospitality.
Without a doubt. The only problem we had here in Grapevine, right here in Texas, in Grapevine, I don't remember who it was. It may have been the Australians. They drank the bar dry. It was like headlines. They drank 5,000 beers, man, and they had to close down. They were like, well, you guys drank us dry. And not a fight, they were singing and laughing and having a good time and enjoying everything, and everybody was enjoying them. And that's the only thing. We ran out of fucking beer.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the places that the bar actually closed down for the next day for the World Cup, and knowing that they had a huge crowd of people that could have come in, but they said, well, for one thing, we don't support England, so F them. And they closed up, but they made their bones the day before.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I'm actually happy World Cup's out here in the U.S. this year because so far it's been a good experience for everybody, and I'm glad everybody from around the world is seeing that we're not as effed up as the media will make us out to be.
Yeah, 100%. And with that note, I want to play a little clip. We're going to start this little. You can grab a seat anyway. We're going to play a little clip. We're going to start doing fuck around and find out type of clip moments, because when things are so stressful in the world, we need these type of people to really keep us laughing and chuckling and realizing that there are stupid people out there and they deserve what they get. So can you play that clip, Chance? You can't make this shit up. You can't make this up. And that was from a Knicks fan who decided to dump garbage all over the street because she liked the color. The garbage can had the Knicks colors. Why go buy a banner when you can grab a garbage can, that everybody threw their trash in? And she dumped it out on the street and she just walked with it. And, I don't know why she took it home or whatever. But this girl, and I'm not going to say her name because you can find it on YouTube. You can find it anywhere. But I will call out the company she worked for, and it's JP Morgan Chase. She was the DEI executive at JP Morgan Chase. Yeah. And it makes me crack up that they, these high-level execs are acting like 16 and 17-year-old punks out on the street. They think nothing, they have no accountability. But you know what, JP Morgan Chase? They fired her ass. They kicked her to the curb and said, "See ya if you're gonna treat our city like that."
Yeah. Credit to JP Morgan for firing one of their executives, their DEI hire.
Yeah,
their DEI executive.
And we're seeing more and more of these companies firing their employees for their stupid actions that they are taking out in the street, because it does reflect on the company. If you're going to act like an asshole out in the street, what makes you as a corporate executive or a corporate owner, you're gonna act the fool in my company.
Oh yeah, no, JP Morgan did the right thing. I mean, good for them.
Yeah, it's just, man, and I got the whole article printed out. I mean, the New York Post did a whole article. A woman caught on video on the street, then stealing it during a New York City Knicks championship parade. Was a director at JP Morgan Chase who was fired Tuesday over the incident. The Post learned, I'm not going to say her name, was promoted to executive director of community industrial engagement for card and connected commerce at JP Morgan Chase more than a year ago, according to her LinkedIn profile. She previously served as the executive director of diversity, shocking, equality, shocking, and inclusion of a New York-based review website. The infiltration, which Chase acquired as part of the border push into the lifestyle and experience content. Once again, it amazes me the lengths that these stupid people will go for a couple of clicks on YouTube.
Yeah, well, I don't think she realized she was being filmed while she was doing it. I think she thought, you know what? I like this. It's the color of the Knicks.
Listen, I mean, you saw the video, and I'm not going to discredit or anything, but you know what? This camera's everywhere. If you think you're not being filmed anywhere at any time, you're an idiot, because everybody's got their phones up taking videos, and everybody wants their 15 minutes of fame. So, if you think that it's not going to come back and bite you in the ass, then you have an IQ of about 14.
That's right.
There
you go. DEI.
But it's fun. It's fun to see these things, and you know what? I'm glad that it's like I like watching them. Because I love hearing the backstories afterwards that they get fired for their job. And I'm sure J.P. Morgan, as an executive director of J.P. Morgan Chase, your salary's got to be the high six figures. You agree?
Oh, easily, yeah,
easily with bonuses and everything else. So she threw out probably a high six-figure salary, bonuses, and everything else for a painted garbage can. God bless you.
On the Home Depot and did herself.
She could have went to one of the vendors and just bought a shirt or a banner. There was another picture in the post. After she dumped that out, and you see her walking away on the video. There's another picture of her riding on the subway with it. Now, I don't know. You saw what she looked like, right? I don't know if that's where she's going to store her food for the winter. But maybe that was just a big trough. I don't know. She wanted a Nick's trough. I don't get it. I would not listen. I don't make anywhere close to six figures, and I would not throw away my career for a garbage can of New York City.
Well, with her new career being unemployed, she's probably not going to be the same next year.
Sanitation wouldn't even hire her. She got it backwards.
That's right.
She won't even get a job in sanitation. Oh, man. Well, Mongo, I'm going to bring on a couple of people we're going to take a quick break. And when I'm going to bring on a couple of your Marine buddies,
all right.
Which you'll have, a good chat with, because, you Marines eat crayons and get to talking, and I'll just sit back and let you guys do your thing. All right. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with the Longhorn Marine Detachment Unit here in Fort Worth. All right. Right after this.
Biker Wolfpack Law is a safety organization founded by myself alongside Robert Howell, with the primary focus of motorcycle safety, advocacy for injured bikers, and just general protection for those injured while riding motorcycles in the great state of Texas. Biker Wolfpack Law is a division of Glenn Larson Law Injury Attorneys, which is my firm. What's different about Biker Wolfpack Law is it's a community-based, event-based connection component to make sure that motorcyclists have all of the safety information they need, all of the legal information they need, and frankly, if needed, that full-blown legal advocacy in times of injury through no fault of their own.
One of our big events is we do ASM classes, which are accident scene management classes, which are put on with the Road Guardians, group of riders that are usually EMTs, doctors, nurses that also ride. And so they know what can happen when you're out there by yourself. And so it's a very intense class, like how to do tourniquets, how to get a helmet off of a person without hurting their neck more, how to get somebody out of the middle of the road. We do those a couple times a year, and the more safe riders are out there, the better it is.
The second division and component of Biker Wolfpack Law is to sponsor local musicians at bike nights or other community events that involve motorcyclists, but also just the community as a whole. And then third is larger charity organization events or rides to get out in the fresh air and have some fun. What I love most about representing bikers and motorcyclists across the great state of Texas is really one thing. It's about hearing the story. It's about going to motorcycle events, constantly meeting new people and making new connections. One of the reasons why I started Biker Wolfpack Law was to defeat and counteract many of the biases that are out there that, quote, motorcyclists are just dangerous. Make sure that motorcyclists are seen as exactly who they are, very hardworking, very responsible, and very dedicated individuals that deserve the justice that they need.
Your bike turns heads. Your gear should too. Milwaukee Motorcycle Clothing Company has classic leathers and bold new designs you won't find anywhere else. Shop top brands plus exclusive MMCC originals. Right now, our listeners get 20% off their entire order. Use promo code 99%. Visit MilwaukeeMotorcycleClothing.com today.
Hey, welcome back to 99% Radio Network here in the Fishbowl. Man, it's an honor always to have our veterans join us here in studio, man. Once again, this is radio for a reason. We always highlight our veterans, our first responders, anybody who's doing great in the community, doing something and giving back. And you know what? When you think of our veterans who give back everything for their amount of service, then come back to the states and stateside and continue to give back, is a 100% honor to introduce Commandant, right?
I'm the senior vice commandant.
Senior vice. Ooh, is that higher than Commandant?
No, it's right below it.
Just right below.
Right below
Senior vice commandant of the Longhorn Detachment Unit, Christopher Lopez, and Steve Hall. Title?
Member.
At
very large.
So welcome, and we got Mongo back on. If you can bring Mongo up on a split screen for, he's a Marine as well. So I know you guys will have a lot to chat about. So let's start with you, Chris. Tell us a little about the detachment unit. But tell us a little bit about yourself first.
I served from 06 to 18 in the Marine Corps. I had a couple of deployments. And then when I got out, I went into logistics, the e-commerce side. I was actually working for Walmart. But I like a lot of us, when we first get out, and you kind of hit on it a little bit about how we serve the community. Some of us, when we get out, I felt like I was missing something. It was a well-paid job, but I felt empty, right? Because I was just making money.
Yeah, right. Because, anybody who serves in the military or a first responder, we're cut from a different cloth by God, and it's that servant's attitude. And when we lose that purpose of the military, when we lose that purpose to serve, we battle. And that's where a lot of the post-traumatic stress comes, because we lose our purpose in life. And money's not the purpose. It's giving back.
No, and that's why you see depression in rich people. If money was the answer, then it wouldn't be a big deal.
I'll take a little rich man for depression.
But I literally felt a hole in my chest. And then I ended up quitting that job, went into real estate. I do real estate now only because I would help the family out. And it was great seeing them, putting them into a home, but I still felt like I was missing something, right? And as I was doing my business, I ended up helping a Marine find a home. After that, he just kept calling me, "Hey, man, come to the Marine Corps League. Come to the Marine Corps League." I'm like, nah, those guys, I don't want to go hang out with those guys, right? There was a bad misconception from some veterans about veteran organizations. And then when I finally went, that first meeting, I fell in love, right? They were the brotherhood, sisterhood there. And not just that, all the good they were talking about just in that one meeting. They do so much in the community.
Throws wind back into your sails.
100%. And just getting involved with it made me feel like I had purpose again, right? I mean, these guys at the Longhorn Detachment, they do a school supply drive, Toys for Tots, the golf tournament that we're here to talk about today. What else?
Cassie.
We just started this year our first chili cook-off that's Cassie sponsored, which I didn't even know what that was. Apparently, it's an international chili cook-off association, and it is amazing.
Really?
Yep. And it all goes to benefit great organizations. Like for the chili cook-off, it was Harvest House. And then for this,
what is Harvest House?
Harvest House is a nonprofit that helps out people. I guess the best way I could say is just going through a hard time.
Okay.
In a bunch of different spaces.
Nice. Okay. That and that's what it's all about. Mongo, when you were here in Texas, were you part of any of the detachment units? I know when we did Walk the Bridge, I don't know if it was Longhorn, but we had one of the detachment units walking the bridge each and every month at the bridge.
Yeah, when I was back in Texas, at the time it was the Lake Ray Hubbard Detachment. I think they've since changed their name, but I was with those guys for a good period of time before I left Texas to come back to this shithole state.
Yeah, and like you said, man, I mean, with you, Mongo, leaving, retiring from law enforcement, leaving the Marine Corps. Did you feel the same thing that Chris felt? You lose your purpose?
Yeah, it actually, my whole journey was, after I left the Marine Corps, I was all about getting into law enforcement. once I was in law enforcement, I still felt like I was missing something. So I actually went back in the reserves for a period of time. But while I was in the reserves, my wife at the time told me, she goes, listen, she goes, you're working narcotics, you're doing the Marine Corps Reserve. She goes, you need to pick, because I'm not going to be involved if you're going to keep doing all this stuff. So unfortunately, I left the Marine Corps Reserve and went full time with my job. And then, what happened, and then I ended up retiring. And that's when I went back with the Marine Corps League in Texas. But now that I'm back in California, I actually don't know anybody out here. I know absolutely zero people out here in Northern California. So I'm not involved in it. My wife keeps going, why don't you go down to any of the veterans organizations and join those guys? I go, because I see those guys and they're like in their 80s, and I have nothing in common with those guys. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to the American Legion. I don't want to do it. So now I'm just I'm a lone wolf.
You're a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Well, we need to change that misconception, right? That they're just older folks. I mean, I'm in my mid 30s, and I love hanging out with these guys. And again, when you first get out, you might already be dealing with some issues joining these veteran organizations. And there's so many different ones, even though I do have a preference for the Marine Corps League. It can make a difference. Not just that, those guys already got out and they went through some of the stuff you went through. So they have a plethora of resources that way you can deal with your baggage and not have it stack when you're dealing with financial issues, employment. We had somebody from the Marine Corps League help another guy out I brought on the first meeting get a job immediately. So
it's helping each other.
Yeah.
And I'd be remiss to say, when you talked about the 80-year-olds at the Marine Corps, at the VFW out in California, I saw Steve's face kind of like bow down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm in my 30s too.
Steve, now before we went back on air, you have a long history in the Marine Corps, but you retired 30 years ago, you said, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, January '97 was when I retired.
Wow. Okay. How long did you do in the Marine Corps?
Just over 20 years.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you for your service, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. No, I loved it. I'm actually a proud family of 3 generations of Marines. Both my son and my daughter are Marines. My daughter went in the Marine Corps and she basically said, I'm going to show you men how it's done. And she did. She kicked our tails. She was like the honor grad from her company, and everything else just kept on going for this gal. She just graduated A&M with her doctorate of jurisprudence.
Oh, very nice. I tell you, man, military families. Hey, Mongo, you have the same. You're proud of your son. Proud. He's not in the Marines, though, right?
No. No, my son is in the Marine Corps.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a son of a career Navy veteran who retired a Command Master Chief. My son he enlisted. Actually, my son's journey, he came to me and said, listen, he goes, I need some help. Don't know what I want to do after high school. He goes, I'm thinking about the Naval Academy. So I flew him back. We went back to the Naval Academy. I bought books. I introduced him to people. And all of a sudden he said, you know what? I'm not interested in the Naval Academy. So then he started doing the same thing with the Coast Guard. So I started gung-ho for the Coast Guard. He dropped that too. So finally he goes, I'm interested in the Marine Corps. I said, well, good for you. And I ignored him. So he finally came back to me. He said, listen, he goes, why won't you help me out? He goes, I'm really interested in the Marine Corps. I said, listen, if you got a question, you can ask me, but I'm not going to give you any advice. You do what you want to do. So he enlisted in the Marine Corps. He spent 5 years enlisted. And then when he got out. He got into the fire service out here in California. And I told him one night while we were having dinner, we went out for dinner together. I said, listen, I'm not going to give you any advice on what to do. I said, but in my experience, I said, I missed it when I got out and I went back into the reserves. I said, I would recommend that you go back into the reserves just to keep your foot in the water, meet some people and see how you like it as kind of a side gig. He goes, well, I haven't told you yet, but I'm already back in the reserves. So he was actually in the same, the weapons company that I was with when I was in the reserves. Soon after that, he got into a program where he was accepted as an officer candidate, went to OCS, graduated, got into flight school, and currently he's flying F-18s in the Marine Corps as a captain.
Wow. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, and that's the structure you gave your child, and the same here, generationally, you put that structure into your child and they succeed. And you don't see them turning over garbage cans in Times Square and taking them home for sport.
Sometimes even if they don't join, my son's 20 years old, but a lot of my Marine rubbed off on him, right? He has a lot of structure. He's
Respect.
So one thing you just talking about what drew you there, literally, you're right about purpose. A lot of people are missing purpose. I got out and I went to work directly with Bell Helicopter immediately in logistics engineering and did a lot of stuff there, but it just wasn't satisfying. Year over year, I had been in the Marine Corps League back while I was active duty, actually, in Glenville, Illinois, and helped do the Toys for Tots up there and helped the league do a lot of stuff up there. But I had gotten out and hadn't been in some time. And I used to go to Marine Corps birthday parties at Hop Fusion, which is right downtown here in Fort Worth, and they have Marines that own that bar.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
that's where I met these guys. And honestly, I went there like the third year. They were trying to get me to join it. The third year going back there, we talked exclusively about a lot of different things they were doing. And so I went to a meeting and I was actually blown away because honestly, so often the misconceptions out there for these veterans organizations, all we do is get together and tell a lot of nasty jokes and cut on each other and drink. And that couldn't be further from the truth. And that's what's causing a lot of the dwindling of the veterans organizations across the United States, which is part of what we try to do. We're trying to get the word out that, look, our organization and many others like us do a lot of good stuff, and they are aging, and we need new blood big time. And everybody can make a difference. The bottom line is that everybody joins together and pitches in, and it makes many hands make light work. And so the bottom line is we're able to do so much for the community. That's why I joined these guys. They blew me away. And so I'm so proud to be part of this unit. Thomas is the commandant. He was at every one of those things, really talking my ear off. And literally I got involved with both feet and end, and I jumped right in, and I'm proud to be part of the co-chairing of the golf tournament was coming up. And that's what got me going. I'm like, let's do this.
And you get to see the results of your actions, and like with the upcoming golf outing and the things that you do, you get to see the smiles you put on someone else's faces. You get to see the emotions of a direct action that you provided. And sometimes you don't get that in the Corps, or you don't get that in military service. You don't see the what you're providing, and you're providing safety for a country. You don't see it as much, but when you can get right on the front lines of your own community and see the impact that you're having by just giving back, that's priceless, man. You can't put a value on that. You can't put anything on that. And that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And you guys got, we're going to talk about a couple events you guys got coming up, but the main one is the golf outing. We're going to take a quick break, take a quick commercial break. When we get back, let's talk a little bit about the golf outing that's coming up, and how people could they still participate?
100%.
All right. So we're going to hear about that right after these messages.
Hey everyone, my name is Alex Arkangelski, CEO and co-founder of Break Free Technologies, and this is Break Free, a motorcycle helmet accessory that easily mounts to pretty much any motorcycle helmet out there, and it's the simplest way to improve your visibility day or night. Break Free's got a sensor array built into the unit itself, so there's nothing to mount to the motorcycle, there's no wiring, everything is inside the unit. It's got 100 ultra bright LED lights that light you up during the daytime and nighttime. Anytime you slow down, Break Free activates, no matter how. Engine braking, downshifting, regular braking, emergency braking. You slow down, it turns on. Break Free is a small company. We're only 4 co-founders and 1 employee at this point, and we're all passionate motorcycle enthusiasts. We love riding, and we've created this product for our community. We wanted to make sure that motorcycle riders are safe and seen out there on the roads. We saw a huge need for visibility, and that's why we've created this product.
Hey, welcome back to the 99% Radio Network here in the Fishbowl. We are honored to have with us Longhorn Detachment Unit, Marine Corps Longhorn Detachment Unit. We have Christopher Lopez and Steve Hall, and we have U.S. Marine Mongo, who is part of our show on here from California. Mongo, we were just talking about you off air. I don't know if you heard us or not. We're talking about you. You live in Napa, correct?
Correct. Yep.
All right. Steve, you were talking about Napa and the Sparrow family on a winery?
No, it's Sparrowhawk and Tim Presley, the Presley family. They own 2 wineries out that area. I don't know if you knew them or not, but I used to rep for them out there. I'm actually from Northern California myself, and I got to Texas as quick as I could and haven't left. So, but I had a blast out there. And Northern California is probably the only part of California that I ever want to visit.
Yeah, Mongo's looking.
Northern California is beautiful.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, we lived up in the foothills up near Cameron Park.
Okay.
On the way to Lake Tahoe, kind of a thing.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't even like. He's telling me he had to drive to the doctors down in Southern California. It took him 5 hours. I'm like, well, I'm equating it together like from DFW to like Midland, and I'm like, you drove all the way to Midland for your doctor's appointment, man. You don't realize how big California really is. But man, it's just it's small world. So when we talk, let's jump into the golf outing a little bit. Can you put one of those flyers up? Tell us a little bit about the upcoming golf outing.
Yeah, so the golf tournament is going to be taking place in Southern Oaks Golf Course, July 10th. We're still looking for golfers. We're still looking for sponsors. You can actually find the link pretty easily. You can go to Eventbrite or just Google it, 14th Annual Corporal Les Stevenson, or go to our website, mcllonghorn.org. to sign up. And like we talked about earlier, we're going to be supporting wheelchairs for kids and this year Cook's Children's Hospital. In the past, we've been able to help up to 165 kids get wheelchairs.
Wow.
And last year we were even able to donate a $20,000 check to them. But not only do we just donate the money at the golf tournament, we actually have a kid that comes there and we're able to present this customized wheelchair to him. And this year, Cook's Children's Hospital we're really excited about, because if you're from the DFW area, you know somebody who Cook's Children's Hospital has helped, whether it's your kid, yourself as a kid, a family member, friend, so many generations. And they're going to have liaison kids out there and doctors as well to talk a little bit.
The doctors will be golfing with teams as well, so they'll be intermingling with them. We'll have some children's sponsors that are out there that are trained to talk to the public. The families allowed them to do this. So the bottom line is you get to see all the wonderful things that Cook Children's does. And it's amazing. We took a tour of this facility and I was blown away. And literally, when you go through parts of it, you can't help but you have your heartstrings tug so hard you're getting goosebumps and you're crying, because there's so much that they do good.
Yep.
There's so many areas they touch in lives. They do a co-op of doctors, researchers and stuff like that. It's global, that they share and gain access to, and they do back and forth. So they get the latest cutting edge stuff they can implement into pediatrics. The NICU, amazing. The stuff they do there is amazing. I talked to many parents and children who went through. I just met a buddy who I work with who said, "Yeah, I was there when I was a kid. I'll never forget that." It was even though it was undergoing a lot of stress and emotional distress because of the injury, he never forgot the environment, how kid friendly it was, how they try to make you happy, how the staff was just overwhelmingly encouraging and just doting on you. And that's the environment they create.
And for those who don't know, like Cook's Children's Hospital, parents don't pay a dime for their children's medical procedures. And they open up the doors to the parents. The parents could stay there. They help the healing process with the children. Myself and Pipple, and she's not here today, but we're partnered with the Tattoo Mark Foundation, and each year Tattoo Mark collects thousands and thousands of teddy bears. And last year was our first year that we were able to go to Cook's and hand out teddy bears to these children. We got to go to some of the rooms and see some of the children that, man, it is heartbreaking to see these children with tubes and wires, and they're so little. And, when you walk into that room and you meet the parents, they just light up to say, when we talk about never forgetting a fallen hero and always saying their name, when you walk into that hospital with a teddy bear, or when you walk in with a wheelchair, and these parents see you, I'm getting chills just thinking about it, to know that you didn't forget, a stranger didn't forget about their child. That you can't, that's humanity at its greatest. That is a feeling. I mean, like I said, I'm feeling goosebumps right now. Just remembering last year with the Tattoo Mark Foundation. I can't imagine your feelings, each handing a wheelchair to all those kids, or handing a $20,000 check, knowing that you're going to provide so much for children. And all it is just being kind and giving back.
It is, and it's both those organizations are very worthy of our money, and when we mention either one, a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, what do I need to do? Where do I sign, kind of thing? Because most people have a great heart. Most people are compassionate. They understand that. Yep. If you've grown up in a family, you get it. Yeah. If you're a parent, you understand. You've probably taken your kids to the hospital or the doctor many a time and had that worried feeling about you. The bottom line is this, is that we want our best foot forward. This is going to be the 14th annual. And this one we moved and amped it up. So this, I don't believe there's another scramble like this that I've ever seen, because we're actually gone out of our way to make this bigger and better than ever. We want to get as many people out there. We're shooting for 200 golfers. We're having 2 flights. We want to ensure that the golfers have a great time, that all the sponsors are taken care of, and that anybody that shows up sees a big difference in what we're trying to do and who we are.
Right.
We're putting our best foot forward to the public. We want to make sure the public's invited out. If you want to just show up and say hi, if you want to come in and just give a donation, you don't have to golf. We'll take donations. We have auctions. We have booths there where you can get free things to eat and stuff like that. There's just a lot of things going on there that you don't see. How many golf tournaments can you say that you've been to that literally had over $1 million worth of prizes that you could win?
Wow.
That's what we are.
Wow.
This time. So it's a big deal. We want to make it a big deal because we felt like, you know what, we got some young blood in the group now. We want to show people what is possible and who we are and what we can do. And we'd love to be able to present a multi-thousands of dollars check to both recipients and come back the next year and do it again. So if anybody's out there, it's going to be, like I said, at Southern Oaks Golf Course, which is in Burleson, right next to Spink Airport.
So you can fly right in.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. There'll be a drone for footage and things. There's just a lot of really cool stuff. Bands, you name it. There's a lot of events there. But we want to make sure that everybody gets a good time and that we get as much bang for the buck, for everybody's buck that they donate. Because look, it's our heart that we're after. It's your heart that we're after. Whatever you can donate, donate. If you want to participate, we encourage you to participate because it's a very good thing. And right on the I think they have the flyer, don't they? Right on the flyer is a QR code. So if you're watching right now and you want to scan the QR code,
you put that up again. The one with the QR code.
Yes,
should be another one up there.
Oh
yeah, it's there. The QR code. There it is.
So just scan that code. It'll take you right to the site to tell you a little bit about what's going on. Feel free to give us a call. And that's another thing about this Marine Corps League. We're not just Marine Corps. We invite everybody to come out. You can be an associate at large. Any of the other.
You can be in the chair force.
We actually, you can. We actually have members that are not Marines.
Plenty of seats for the chair force.
And that's the one thing about us. We like inner rivalry between branches happens a lot. But the point is, when push comes to shove, that goes aside because we're all brothers in arms and sisters in arms, and so we don't discriminate. We accept everybody, and we encourage folks to come on out and see what it's really like.
When you think about playing golf, and I know so many golfers out there, you go out every weekend or you're going out a couple days a week and you're playing with your buddies and you're playing in a foursome, you're spending $200-300, and then you're going out to a bar and you're spending another $200-300 playing this tournament, because when you're done, that money is going someplace good. It's going to make your round of golf so much more memorable than just playing with a couple of buddies on a foursome waiting for that old guys to say play through. You go to this golf outing, you're not only going to connect with people, you're going to meet with people, you're going to hear stories, you're going to see the children, you're going to see what your money is doing for the children, and it's going to make a memorable day for you. Oh, you're getting all those.
I'm blowing up.
It's the Air Force. They heard that Air Force quote. They're like, we're not driving the golf carts this year. Let the Army do it.
Yeah, they got mad. And this year we're even trying it. Not only are you coming having a great time because it's something you enjoy to do, but we're trying to make it worth it for you with some great sponsors and some donations that we've got where you could possibly win some prizes. The food's already been donated. And
You want to give a shout out to a few of your sponsors?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
give a shout out to a couple of your sponsors.
Right out of Fort Worth, we got Rudy's Barbecue, who's going to be providing all of our breakfast stuff. Sun State has been wonderful. They've donated a lot of money, and they're doing the lunch. We have Crudo Vodka. We have, I mean, there's
Costco.
Costco's donated. Yes, Costco, Protect. We have the several local businesses that have chipped in. That's one thing. When you're at the tournament too, we're going to have a lot of signs out there. We're going to have a big TV scrolling through with the different sponsors that help provide stuff for us. So we want to recognize the sponsors, because the one thing don't want to do is go out there and grab, oh, thank you, Mr. Sponsor, and forget about them.
Right.
So we're even going so far as to we're having a thank you for the sponsors that in the past have sponsored us, and then in the present they're sponsoring us. And we're doing a special sponsorship at 1611 in Burleson on June 30th between 6 and 8 for all the sponsors to be able to meet and greet. A thank you for them, an opportunity for them to meet each other and interact with each other, network. And so it's important for us as the Marine Corps League.
Drinks
and
and food.
Well, don't give everything away.
And that's another thing that sometimes goes sadly unnoticed when we go to these fundraising events. All right, we see all these sponsors that do contribute so much to these events, and we see their names up on the banners, and we see their names scrolling across TVs or whatever it is. We have to take the time as participants when we're done with that event to go to Rudy's Barbecue and patronize them. Go to Costco, patronize them, and say, hey, I saw your company was at the golf outing. I want to thank you for it. Show them recognition back. If they're paying it forward, we could pay it forward as well. We want to always look at those banners and those sponsors and those who are giving back to the event. We want to be able to give back to them for doing what they can do. This way, they will give back next year. They continue to give back if we give back, and it's a nice circle of trust and kindness, and it's a ripple effect that impacts everybody.
Well said.
Yeah, and to be honest, they don't have to choose to help our organization. There's
Right.
so many others out there, but it really shows the character of that business owner, small business owner, whether a big or small company, that they pick to support our cause. And we really, truly want to thank them, which is why we're starting this reception, amongst other things. But every year we want to continue going forward with like a thank you reception. Come over, we can shake their hand. Maybe I give them a kiss on the forehead. I don't know. And give them
Or
some
maybe
food
not
and drinks.
pay him not to let them kiss.
Now, it may be too late this year, or it may not be too late this year, but volunteers to help, because running a golf outing, putting people at each individual hole, or just setting up tables or tents, or coordinating, or parking all the golf carts, or directing people where they go. Can people just say, hey, you know what? I'm available July 10th. I want to give back to the Marine Corps League. How do I volunteer? Could I come and help?
100%. 100%. And they can find us on social media. Like I said, our website is mclonghorn.org, or you can find all our contact information on there and just reach out to us and be like, how can I help? Because the time
You
is
don't
just
have
as
to be a
valuable.
Marine. You don't have to be a veteran to volunteer your time. And when we talk about our law enforcement and our veterans who lose purpose, sometimes life makes us all lose our purpose. We lose our, maybe we're going through a bad divorce, or maybe we're going through some financial issues, or maybe something's happened in our life and we are just feeling lost. This is a great way to connect. Go volunteer your time and help. You're going to meet people. The doors are going to open. Man, never miss an opportunity to give back, because you don't know what that opportunity is going to bring you. It could bring you a spiritual feeling. It could bring you friendships. It could bring you a newfound opportunity in a career. There's so many things that could happen by just volunteering to help.
One more thing I wanted to remind you, everybody of, is that we have a lot of sponsors that have been given foursome, two foursomes, whatever. Some of them may choose not to use them or not be able to fill them. We're asking them if we can donate those to first responders or military vets that we have that we can go ahead and allow them to come into the tournament and enjoy the tournament at no cost to them by filling one of the sponsor slots.
Oh,
And
okay.
so we're looking for people who are interested in that as well. If they have an interest in doing the golfing, if they're capable of doing the golfing, I know that I don't want to embarrass myself because I'm not going to do that. I don't golf anymore because I learned after I lose 2 sleeves of balls, it's probably time to quit.
Might as well just walk in the weeds, right?
I'm done. So.
But you know what? These events, and this is not the PGA. It's about having fun. It's about the cause. All right. So even if you suck and you lose a box of balls or 2 box of balls, you're out there having a fun time, and it's for the children. It's for giving back to the kids. So you don't have to be a PGA golf pro. Yes, everybody wants to win and everybody wants to take it serious, but remember, these events are to have fun and bring joy and have just a great time and giving back. That's what it's all about. Don't take it serious, man. If you want to take it serious, then go join the PGA Tour. Go on that. Be with Adam Sandler. Get on the golf course. But what are some of the other stuff going on that you guys got coming up that throughout the summer you guys probably running a whole bunch of different events, right?
Yeah, we have. We also do just before school starts, we do a giveaway to Title I school children in the area that can't afford to have the supplies. So we'll do a round.
Is that in Burleson?
It is in the Burleson, Crowley, that whole area there. Yes, and so
when is that?
That is.
We're not doing like a school supply drive like
Oh,
we did last year.
you're not doing the back to school
The
bash?
Jarhead Jam.
The Jarhead Jam?
No, this time we're doing it a little differently. We're purchasing a bunch of supplies, having them come to our detachment, and then also donating them to the school. Because last year that was great. We had a bunch of kids come to our detachment, and we could fill about 90% of the list, and we still had a bunch left.
Nice.
So we took that to a Crowley school, and donated it to them, and the teachers were so appreciative.
Well, a lot of teachers, all that's out of pocket to them. A lot of their supplies that they have to buy for the school year, those extra supplies, that really make your kids happy in school. Those teachers purchase that stuff out of pocket. I know my niece and my daughter are both teachers here in the DFW area, and they probably spend each of them at least $1,000 on cubby holes and things and to decorate their classroom. So teachers spend a lot of money just to make their kids feel comfortable and give them a good learning experience.
Yeah, because even if the kids show up with everything that they need, after a couple months, they run out.
Yeah.
They run out, and the teachers are the ones that are jumping in and doing what they can.
That's right. And a lot of these kids are coming from either broken homes or financially strapped homes. And, when a kid says, hey, I lost my notebook, it may not be a big thing for a family that can afford that. But you know what? For a family that's struggling or living paycheck to paycheck, that notebook or those 2 notebooks or those pens or those paints, that adds up. $20 is a lot of money for somebody who's struggling each and every week.
100%.
One of the organizations we do support is Scouting for America. We have the Scouting Troop 554 that meets at our location. We actually are probably maybe the only one in the United States that owns its own house. We are a Marine Corps League who has a house that's on about a 1.5, 2 acre property. And we've had an attachment to the backside where we have our meetings in the back, but the house, we don't have anybody reside there, but it's for the detachment. So we allow the Boy Scouts to store and have their meetings and campsites and training and stuff like that there as well. So it's available for them. We also do the Cassie cook-off, as he mentioned. That's the beginning of the year. David Hawthorne, who I believe a TCU grad, who went on to play for New Orleans and won a Super Bowl with them, then ended up going up to Seattle to win his 2nd Super Bowl. Well, he's president of a chapter down here in Fort Worth for Cassie.
Okay.
So he comes out. He's been a wonderful supporter of ours. We've been supporting him. They do the Cassie cook-off. We have it at Jellystone Park. Jellystone enjoyed it so much, they said, please come back every month. We said, that's not possible, but we'll be happy to make this an annual event. And everybody's very happy with that. It was a wonderful turnout, a wonderful time, a great event.
That's just a regular chili cook-off.
That's a regular chili cook-off. The public's available to do that. They can not only see the professionals do their thing, That's like, I think, $100,000 payday at Terralinga every year. So they have the chili cook-off. They earn points there. So the professionals are out there cooking every time, earning points and awards, and their points at the end of the year qualify them to go for the final cook-off where the award is given. So it's a pretty intense thing, but anybody can go and do the chili cook-off and do their own thing on the family-made one. So it's a fun time.
Yeah,
David Hawthorne's a great guy. He likes to give back. I don't think it's fair that he's so talented at so many different things, because he's a great football player, but not just that. His chili was amazing.
Amazing. His mom was there. His mom was there making chili too.
His family.
Yeah, their family.
All of them phenomenal chili.
Wonderful folks. Yeah.
You know, it's nice to see that, and the kids love that as well when they can see an athlete giving back. You know, we have with this show, we have so many some Dallas Cowboy players retired that still give back to Cook's Children's Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
They go on the Tattoo Mark Foundation, you know, and it's wonderful to see that they continue their service after their career.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just don't make all their millions and go live up on a high ranch. These are you know, faith-based players that, you know, they just want to give back.
Yeah,
And that's great.
Their legacy wasn't just football or basketball or whatever. And obviously, I'd be remiss if I did not mention the last one.
Good.
Toys for Tots.
Toys for Tots.
That one's one that's
Every year,
near and dear to my heart.
The big one. I was fortunate enough or unfortunate enough, depends on how you look at it, to be the area coordinator in Chicago for Toys for Tots one year when I was active duty up there. And I thought, oh, this would be a nice respite from everything. How wrong I was. It was absolutely overwhelming, the amount of work that goes into that behind the scenes that you don't see in the just the warehousing, the sorting, the lining up of the different organizations coming in and making sure everything logistically is handled properly. It was amazing. But Chicago is not a small town, unlike DFW. It's so what the Marines do at that time of year, with everybody's help, obviously, is an amazing thing, but it is an enormous amount of work and labor.
100%.
All these events are, you know, there is a lot of back house labor involved. You know, and I just saw Mad Dog Meek on here. Hey, he's like, "What's up, gentlemen? Mad Dog, thank you for tuning in." And Massimino from Italy, thank you for tuning in. But Mad Dog runs, and I forgot what year. It's got to be at least the 10th year. He runs the Rockwall Teddy Bear, the Children's Advocate Teddy Bear motorcycle run, which is coming up every year. And what that does, you know, when you talk about giving back to the children's in the hospital, when you talk about giving children's the wheelchairs, you know, Mad Dog and his wife, they've been running this run, and they give these teddy bears to the advocacy center in Rockwall, and it helps the children, you know, that are battling from some sort of trauma. They give it to the officers to break the ice between the officer and the child. And they raise so much money for the advocacy center as well through this motorcycle run. And, you know, it's just like you, it's giving back to the kids. It's Tattoo Mark, giving back to the kids. A lot of families are battling. We have to, you know, give back wherever we can, in any capacity we can.
Yeah, and people don't understand how much a little toy can make a difference in a kid's life. I myself, the reason I say Toys for Tots is near and dear to my heart is when I was a kid, we grew up in a tough situation, a single mother. Most Christmases we weren't getting anything, and then one Christmas
I would have brought you some crayons, man. I
That's
really
all right.
would have.
That's all right. But we had a like similar to what you were talking about, a police officer pull up, and we're like, okay, what's going on, right? And my mom didn't apply; she didn't know about the program, so somebody else close to us did it for us. And then all of a sudden, a cop pulls out this big red sack out of his car and walks into our house.
Thank God I didn't know where you were going with that.
I thought, yeah, I was going to go to jail. No, but I was probably like 6 years old, and he gave me this Spider-Man car that I still have to this day.
Really?
Yep. I gave it to my kids, and it made me want to do something in that space. I think I attribute it to why I became a Marine.
And that could have led you down that path. You know, like right here in Texas, we have Spokes for Hope they bridge the gap. They give bicycles to the police officers who then give it to children in need, and it kind of bridged the gap between the police department and the community. And it like when you got that Spider-Man car, did you look at the police officer a little differently?
100%. I like respected him. I looked at him as a role model and just appreciative.
It
was
really
a guardian
is.
angel that came out of nowhere.
a lot of these children out there, their parents, whatever hard time they had through their youth, sometimes bring their bad karma onto their children. They have a couple of bad experiences with the police, so the police are all bad, and that's not the truth. And then the kid looks at the police officer as a villain instead of a hero in the community that's keeping them safe. And that's why all your organizations that are out there, each and every one of them that are trying to bridge that gap, trying to bring the respect back to our law enforcement officers, trying to get our kids back into the service of protecting our country instead of stepping on our flag. It's been, and I don't know where it changed, but the culture in burning our flag and burning and degrading the United States of America, and especially coming up to our 250th birthday, when we think about all the opportunities, all the things that America has done, we are not perfect by no means. We have grown throughout the 250 years, and next week we're gonna visit a lot of that 250 years on the show. But you got to remember how far we've come and how much better the United States is. When we look at other countries, if you burn the flag in another country, you, your family, and everybody else is going to jail. You're being exiled. Here you have the right to do that because we give you that. Men have fought and died for those freedoms. Don't just disintegrate or desecrate the United States of America's flag, the red, white, and blue. Have pride in. Even if you don't believe in our president, if you hate our president, who cares? You hate his policy, who cares? Do not desecrate that flag. And
this nation has survived a lot of left, right, and in the between for 250 years almost. And literally,
you were there around the birth part, right?
Yeah, I was pretty close. Yeah, pretty close. I was arguably there with what used to be known as what was the worst president. And now that's
Carter.
Play. Yes,
pick that one out.
That was a hard one. But the other side of the coin is, guys, is that that's what makes this nation great is that one person or one party, where it may make us stumble or go back a step, it's not going to make us fall. So there's always time to repair and recover. And we always have, and we've always been great. And the bottom line is what you don't want to do is listen to the pundits because none of them know. Because you know what? Those experts are there's a reason they're called an expert. The former drip under pressure.
You're right. You're right, man. The presidents come and go, man. But, always stay true to our country. Always love our country. Like I said, you can hate our politicians. You can hate their policies, but love the country you live in. And it was making me I kind of chuckle a little bit. Because I'm from New York, and I can say this about New York. You got Mandami, God bless you. I don't know where you're going with it, but you got him. And you talk about how much you hate capitalism, and you hate these big companies and these corporate people and blah 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 blah. But a million of you idiots turned out for the Knicks parade, the Heroes parade. They're capitalists. Every Knick, every basketball player, every athlete is a capitalist. They are all out about making money, $66 million for a 3-year contract. And you're celebrating him, but you won't celebrate the CEO of some company because you don't like that he's making money on his company. It's so hypocritical, Look at that. Look at that.
But I like to think that just like in the Marine Corps, we used to say we all got that 10%. Well, the 10% tends to be the loudest, right? I still think there's so many good patriots out there. That are always turning out for like the 4th of July parade.
Yeah. We're not getting paid by George Soros to cause trouble.
And
we have a life to lead.
You just brought up a great point because I bring this up all the time. The news media, the mainstream news media will bring you the blood, the guts, and the diversity throughout our country. And that appeals to maybe 1 or 2% of what's going on in the nation. And that's why I love this show, because we get to uplift and we get to shine a light on the nonprofits that are out there, the people that are doing good. And when we do this each and every week, people see, wow, that's another nonprofit that's doing good. That's another person that's doing good in their community. That's another person doing good in that community. And it shows that we outweigh the bad.
100%.
What you see on the news,
believe that.
what you see on the news is this much of what's really, really out there. Focus on the good. Focus on those who are out there, the individuals that are holding the door open for you, the individuals that are stopping to help you in, when you get a flat tire, man. Do not think that it's all bad because the news makes us think it is. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to divide everybody, and we're trying to uplift everybody.
Absolutely.
So I can't thank you guys enough for everything you do. I know it's a little too late now, but next year we want to be a big part of the golf outing. We will even sponsor a few teams if you'd like, and we'll sponsor whatever we can.
It's not too late.
To help. Well, it is because we sponsored some other stuff.
Gotcha.
I wish I could, but yeah, next year we want to be more involved. So get with us a couple of months prior.
Okay.
And this way we can advertise it more and more each week. We can run it from January to when you run your event. This way we can get people to start saving.
And if they just don't like golf, we have an ability to just donate to the Marine Corps League overall. And that, as an overall donor at that level, basically you're invited to everything we do as a sponsor at every event we do, at every presentation we do, at every engagement we have. We invite all those sponsors out, and they get year-long recognition through our social media platforms.
Oh, nice.
The signage everywhere we go. We invite them to put up a booth wherever we're going. So if they want to bring their tent, their thing, they can go to Cassie. They can go to all the events we do. So that way they're,
that's
covering
a big
their
perk.
bases.
That's
Yeah.
a huge perk. That's a huge perk for a small little outlay. And once again, your donations keep the Marine Corps detachment unit alive, just like the VFWs and the American the VFWs and the American Legions. These aren't government run facilities. They are privately owned, and that's why they sell beer and they sell food, because that pays the bills within their lodge. And it houses, and that's open to everybody. It's not only open to veterans. Go to one of these VFWs or the Marine Corps League and sit and talk with a veteran for a little while. Man, I tell you, my best experience was sitting with Don Graves, with sitting with Don Graves, man, and hearing his stories and listening to him sing. Man, those are things I will remember forever, because I've learned so much from Don and all those those World War II vets, man. And that is just something you'll never learn in school. So go to these VFWs and just sit and have a beer or a hamburger, and hey, tell me about your tours. Tell me about your service. Tell me about the Corps. Tell me about Army, Navy. Tell me about the service.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be surprised on the answers you get and how you walk out of there a better person than when you walked in.
I want to just invite everybody to come on out to I'll give you the address, because every first Tuesday of the month we have our Marine Corps League meeting. It starts at 6 p.m. We have free food for anybody showing up. So
free food.
Eat and
love that.
And drink and be merry. And then at 7 o'clock on sharp, we start our meeting. We show you can be there. You do not have to be a member to be there. We invite people out to see what's going on. We'll show our agenda, what we're doing. We'll have our discussions and everything. You see how we do it and what we're all about. And we encourage people to come on out and see us. We're actually in Crowley at 1401 West Cleburne Road. That is 76036.
Okay, we're going to have all this stuff. I'm going to grab that because I'm going to have that all on the 99% Radio Network Facebook page, our Instagram page, and we will share that out as well. We'll share the golf outing out as well. We'll share everything you got there out on our pages. So you can check it out and go golf and go support.
And meet us.
And meet them.
Shameless plug.
Once again, thank you, Chris and Steve. Appreciate it for everything you do. Mongo, you were so talkative.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hey, I tried to get a few words in, but you guys just kept talking. So.
Oh, sorry. Couldn't hear you. What were the words?
For one, I want to thank you, gentlemen, for your service. Semper Fi. I want to remind people that as a nation, we're only 250 years old. We're very young. We're basically babies. However, we started out as a bunch of farmers and adventurers, and we took on the greatest empire in the world. We gained our independence, and then from there, we made lots of mistakes along the way. But in a very short period of time, we became the biggest and most powerful nation in the world. So think about what this country has done, and we've done it as a community. I mean, we're a melting pot. We're not all natives here. Very few of us are natives here. We came here seeking a better life, and we built it. So the media plays us down all the time. They're always telling you how bad things are. They show us all the bad shit. Very, very little do they show us the good shit. But it's shows like this that promote the good organizations that are helping out. We've got so much to give. Half of this country right now doesn't want to celebrate the 4th of July because Trump is in office and they're Democrats. Well, boo fucking who? Go out and have a good time. It's our birthday. He's only going to be here for 2 more years. If you don't like it, vote somebody else in. You know, get along, people.
Yeah, 100%, man. You know, you know, it's silly how one man and the hatred for one man could ruin, you know, a beautiful birthday for America. You know, and you know, I'm a Trump supporter. I love Trump. I think he's doing great things for this country. I think he's doing more than any other president besides Reagan. Those are my 2 favorite presidents, and JFK. But you know what? When you look at some of the politicians that have done nothing for the community except little word salad and empty promises, at least Trump has stood up and he's taken a lot of hits, and he still loves this country, and he still is moving forward to make it better for each and every one of us that live within our borders.
Yep.
So, all right, gentlemen, once again, thank you guys for your service. Mongo said it, you know, simplify, and we will support you. We'll do it whatever we can to help you. And anytime you want to come back on the show and promote, please, you know, just reach out.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
All right, Mongo, we're going to take a quick break. Then we're going to come back with your Mongo log.
All right. Adios,
All right.
man.
Once again, the 99% Radio Network. Check out the golf outing coming up on July 10th. Go to the Longhorn Detachment Unit.org and sign up today to either play or volunteer. We'll be back after these messages.
What we believe in at Glenn Larson Law is doing one thing and doing it really well. When I meet people, I always tell them we're going to uncover every single rock possible. That's the medical component. That's your story and your voice.
We've solely focused on personal injury, whether that be a slip and fall accident or a commercial 18-wheeler, a motorcycle or DWI, motor vehicle accident. We specialize in that and that only.
When someone says, my neck really hurts, I know exactly how that feels. There's so much more to an injury case dealing with the pain level that people go through and how it affects their lives. And I know how to advocate to make sure that the insurance companies take all of that in consideration in every case.
We're very transparent and open to always keep them informed and stay on top of their case at all times.
Because we're a little bit smaller in team numbers, we're able to really dive into every single case and develop not only a client relationship, but a friendship and a lifelong connection.
We're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We'll meet you anywhere, at the scene, in the hospital, at your home. Whatever's best for the client, we will do every single time.
There is a connection component that I believe.
Yeah. It's for the kids, man. Tattoo Mark Foundation. Texas, we with you. Little man in a gown, cold room, white walls. Eyes tired from the meds, hear the nurse make calls. Door crack, big box, he like, what's all this? Brown bear, blue bow, first smile, small wish. From Houston up to Dallas, all across that map. We stack bears in the back of the truck, unwrapped. Ink on the arms, but the heart stay clean. Whole crew pulled up just to live one dream, yeah. It's all about the kids, it's all about the love. Every teddy bear blessing from above, from town to town, see the joy we bring. Tattoo Mark got the whole state sing. It's all about the kids, all about the care. Every broken little heart needs a bed to share. In every Texas room where the lights feel dim, we show up so hope don't ever fade for them. Young queen in San Antonio, curls in a scarf. Trying to act tough, but she holding that heart. We walk in, big grin,
handbag full of soft friends. She picked one, squeezed tight like I could fight again. Doctors nod, parents cry, yeah, they feel that way. A small plush toy, but the courage it gave. From Austin down to Laredo, we drive those miles, turn hospital halls into aisles of smiles. Yeah, it's all about the kids, all about the love. Every teddy bear blessing from above, from town to town. See the joy we bring. Tattoo mark got the whole state sing. It's all about the kids, all about the care. Every broken little heart needs a bear to share. And every Texas room where the lights feel dim, we show up so hope don't ever fade. Box after box, we ain't stopping that stream. Every stitch, every seam, part of somebody's dream. From the bay to the plains, through the storms and the heat, we gon' fill up every ward till the mission complete. Yeah. Red lips, tied up curls, high heels, flag unfurled, Lone Star stitch on their seams. Sunday drives and freedom dreams. They roll up to the VA gate. Coffee cards, they're never late. Laugh lines, old stories glow. They salute and steal the show. Hey! Battling Betty's of Texas. Country first in their heart. Shield like an arm.
We just wanted to let you know we're on the High Seas Rally, and it's very lonesome here at the bar without you. But Gary and
it's made up for it.
Has made up for it, and we just want to say we ride with the 99.
We miss y'all.
We love ya.
Mongo! Santa Maria! Never mind that shit. Here comes Mongo.
Welcome, Mongo.
Hey, and I'm back.
And you're back. Thank you for doing that segment with me, brother. You know, it's always a pleasure to have our veterans in studio, man, supporting such amazing causes. I love it.
Yep, it was good to have them. It's you know, and it's good to let people know what they're out there doing, because a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, you know, and because like we talked about before, the mainstream media is gonna just focus on the bad, the blood, the guts, the diversity. You know, when you can have a show like this that could highlight them, and that's what it's all about. That's why it's so important to share and like and subscribe to the show, man, because it's all about uplifting others. That's what the show is all about.
Yeah.
Until the Mongo log comes, then it's the truth and the news.
Yeah, that's right.
So, you know, Mongo, last week we were talking about the Nick Shirley law. Anything since then?
Not that I've heard, but like I said, it's been a busy week for me because I had to drive down south. I had to get this Mongo log taken care of, and I've also been working on next week's Mongo log because I actually want to make it good for our 250.
Yes. Next week, it's going to be all red, white, and blue, patriotic. We are going to celebrate the 250th birthday here. We got TK Klund coming in with the Celebrity Softball Classic. We got Steve Piper. He's going to be bringing the bagpipes. So it's going to get a little loud in here with the bagpipes next week. We're going to have a couple other guests that may stop by and give a big shout out and happy birthday to America. But it's going to be the patriotic show of the year. I'm so excited to celebrate America's birthday here on the show.
Well, it's going to be up to Pitbull, because it's not your job or my job to figure out what they actually wear under that kilt.
Pitbull will take a look. She'll take a look. She's not shy.
I mean, drop a pencil on the floor or something, bend down to pick it up. You figure it out.
Pitbull will just give him a little reach around. And I've been with Steve Piper a long time, man. I've seen him play many, many events, and he's shared a little secret that there may not be anything under that kilt.
I hear there's not, but I've never worn a kilt, so I don't know.
All right. Well, with enough said and enough bad visuals, let's get into the Mongolog.
All right, here we go. This week's Mongolog is on transgenderism. Many inevitable social movements are turning out to be not so inevitable. One of the most notable and recent examples is transgenderism. In recent developments of this fast-moving storyline, and in my humble opinion, actually only a fairy tale, this was just last year when the U.S. Supreme Court upheld a Tennessee law that prohibited so-called transgender care for minors. This included hormone therapy and sex reassignment procedures. Predictably, the American Psychological Association threw a hissy fit about the ruling, scolding the court for disregarding decades of psychological research and clinical consensus, which jeopardizes the health and well-being of transgender youth. To that, I say, boo fucking who. I can never understand why our courts have all too oftentimes ruled in favor of a very small minority, forcing the majority to accept and conform or allow. Almost as if because they are a very small minority, we need to rule in their favor because it's fair. Thankfully, LA's Children's Hospital recently announced that it has closed its Center for Transgender Youth. It was one of the largest and oldest clinics of its kind and a hub for gender reassignment. LA Children's was for years performing these deforming surgeries on children. Now, and I have to say, and I've said this for years, statistically, 50% of all medical school graduates finish their doctor school in the bottom half of their medical school graduating class. This particular Frankenstein Surgical Center in LA must have been where these lower-end medical school hacks ended up practicing their deforming medical procedures. The whole transgender issue is a subject that is probably uncomfortable for many and confusing for others. I know in my worldview, when I hear about transgenders, I just kind of wince and uncomfortably and probably give an expression of smelling something foul. I'll say this about someone who actually follows through with the full gender transition procedure and isn't just a flamboyant cross-dresser. This transition process takes commitment, and the actual surgery takes balls. See what I did there? For over decades, the transgender movement has occupied a central place in culture, legal, and institutional discourse. During his four-year folly as our president, Biden issued what were called Dear Colleague letters, mandating that college administrators provide transgender students with access to locker rooms, bathrooms, and sports teams that match their preferred gender identity instead of their actual biological gender. Prisons were forced through federal mandates to accommodate their transgender inmates' incarceration within the gender-specific prison of the individual's choice. This crazy nonsense perpetuated by progressive politicians, the media, and medical enablers have attempted to deny the reality of the immutability of one's actual biological gender. I believe men are men and women are women. Surgery or hormones don't change that. Men should use men's bathrooms and women should use women's bathrooms. Men's restrooms don't need tampon dispensers or a receptacle for use of feminine products. It's a stupid waste of money. At one time, power seemed to be on the side of transgender activists. Fresh off their victory over transgender marriage in 2015, our culture has contorted itself to satisfy the whims of the mentally ill. Corporations begin requiring preferred pronouns in email signatures. Our entertainment industry promoted transgender icons like Jazz Jennings, who I don't know who that is, and some states even passed laws mandating jail time for misgendering an individual. Recently, however, public opinion has shifted. Earlier last year, the Pew Research reported that about 2/3 of adults now support policies requiring trans athletes to compete on the teams that match their biology. Most adults also support outlawing gender identity curriculum in elementary schools. This is quite different from than just 3 years ago. Now more Americans support laws that require people to use bathrooms that correspond to their gender and favor banning transgender surgery for minors. In my opinion, this seems like just madness that is viewed as progress, as opposed to what obviously is reality. Today, however, transgender healthcare still includes prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of mental health conditions which affect transgender individuals. A major component of transgender healthcare is gender-affirming care, which is the medical aspect of gender transition. Questions which are implicated in transgender healthcare include gender variance, sex reassignment therapy, and health risk in relation to violence and mental health and access to healthcare for trans people. The purpose of transgender affirming care is to help a transgender individual conform to their desired gender identity. The last statement is the one that gets me. The term their desired gender identity tells me that this is just about people pretending to be something that they are not. I mean, if all that's required or is a desire and an imagination to receive some external social affirmation, then I'd like to have a lot of money, better looks, and a slight Australian accent. I know that seems like a lot, but I always say dream big. If all that it takes is to pretend, then this whole fad is like being a Hollywood actor, only with a shitty agent. The rise in transgender identification, this is not a fleeting trend or a fad. Instead, it is largely driven by past greater social acceptance and visibility of transgender issues. Access to information through the internet and social media has provided additional platforms for education and community support, making it easier for individuals to explore and understand their perceived gender identity. There have been a slight shift in social attitudes towards gender identity, allowing more individuals to express their true selves without fear of stigma. My personal opinion is that if you want to pretend to be a cat, you're free to shit in a litter box. It's really not my problem or business, as long as you're not licking your balls in public. I don't care if you think you're a cat. Adding to this increased representation, transgender individuals in the media and public life have helped normalize diverse gender identities, encouraging more people to identify as transgender. Fortunately, however, the trend of young Americans identifying as transgender has seen a sharp and remarkable decline since peaking in 2003. This signals a significant cultural reversal among this demographic. University students identifying as transgender has dropped from 6.8% in 2023 to a mere 3.6% in 2025. This is according to a 2025 study by a political science professor. Remembering the cultural mood pushing transgenders over the past few years, things really got stupid for a while. Today, things are getting back to normal. One of the most impactful ads from the last presidential election was one that Kamala Harris was acknowledging they, them, and Donald Trump was for you. Now, everyone take a moment to thank God that karma, the balance of the universe, or just dumb luck, that idiot Kamala was not elected as our president. Instead, she was relegated to a joke of the joke bin of American politics. I'm having a hard time reading today. We dodged a bullet after the Democrats anointed her as the candidate for president. Now, somewhere on the other side of this cultural confusion, there are two crucial issues to be learned about how cultural change and how we need to fight future battles. First is how unpredictable and fragile our supposedly inevitable cultural progress actually is. A few short years ago, corporations, governments, institutions of higher education, and the entertainment industry, science, and medical establishments were all aligned in support of the idea that boys can become girls and vice versa. But then a few courageous athletes, artists, filmmakers, detransitioners, and a handful of public figures like J.K. Rowling and Jordan Peterson spoke out. Peterson argued that the proposed bill would make use of certain gender pronouns compelled speech. In other words, everyone would have to live in a make-believe society to again appease a very small minority of people. Peterson has also been widely criticized by climate scientists for denying the scientific consensus on climate change and giving a platform to climate change deniers. Unfortunately, many Christians and high-profile pastors were unwilling to take this brave and public stance regarding reality. The second lesson to learn is how quickly social contagions spread, how an observably absurd and unscientific idea like transgenderism almost took over the West. This should actually humble all of us and highlight the danger of losing our high and shared view of the human condition. Unfortunately, as a society, we still can't broadly agree on what it means to be a human, what sex is for, what being a male or female means, what marriage is, and why there are givens to the presence here in nature. Until we figure out as a society, we remain susceptible to the idea of a desired gender identity and other absurd, dangerous notions. It actually seems very appropriate that Dylan Mulvaney is the current recognizable face of this once very popular beer brand. He is the spokesperson for Bud Light. Bud Light also identifies as trans because in reality, it's actually just water that identifies as beer. Anyone not caught up in the mass transgender hysteria knew that it could not endure. Biology remains undefeated. Humans are male and female, no matter what creative lies people may spin today. What interests me now is identifying those who refuse to see the emperor actually has no clothes on, and those who bought into the hysteria and believe transgenderism was or is the future. Thank God the trans ideology, though far from defeated, is faltering. However, short of a cultural revolution, the West will continue to be vulnerable to the next bad idea that claims to be inevitable. Personally, I hope it's humans being born with wings and X-ray vision. Again, I say, I dream big. And that, my friends, is that. Whiskey improves with age, and I improve with whiskey. My name is Mongo. Whiskey goes in, wisdom comes out. I smoke cigars and I know things. Mongo is out.
Well, welcome back, Mongo. I'm telling you that, once again, the Mongo log was spot on. And here's where I agree with you on a lot of points. I don't care what gender you are. I mean, I don't care what sexual preference you are. I don't care that if you're gay, if you're not gay, you like men, you like women, you like to dress up as a cat. That's fine. You can do that. That's your own prerogative. And that's what American freedom is all about, right? But you don't have to throw it in the faces of everybody else. I don't care what you do in your bedroom. It's your business, and you're free to do whatever you want to do. But when we start talking about that transgender assignment, listen, if you are a transgender, if you were born and biologically you were born a man or a boy, and you are gay and you like other boys, or you want to transition to a female, you should do that after the age of 26, when your prefrontal cortex has its reasonable thinking. They should not be doing this for children. Children cannot make up their own minds. No. It is not their choice. I think we're doing a lot of damage to our children by putting a lot of stuff in their heads. Let them be children. Let them grow at the pace they want to grow at. If they turn out that they want to be a transgender, that's fine. Let them do it later on in life. Let them, find out later on in life. Do not do any surgical procedures on children. That's horrible. That is a horrible, horrible thing to do to a child that may not be making the right decision later on in life. Maybe he doesn't want that.
And they don't know. I mean, puberty is a tough period for everybody. You've got to figure out, because a lot of girls that were tomboys growing up, they start going through puberty, and all of a sudden they've got no interest in sports and being a tomboy. They want to be a pretty girl, and they're interested in boys. Or maybe they want to pursue being a tomboy, and they like what they do, and they like competing against the men. But then as they mature, they decide, you know what? I like competing with the men, but I also like being with the men. I don't want to necessarily be a man.
Right.
Because they have no idea. You don't know anything about life until you mature. And you have, like you said, age 26, it takes time to mature. You can't mature when you're 5. You can't mature when you're 18. You can vote when you're 18. You can buy a beer when you're 21, but that doesn't make you mature.
Right. You know, I feel bad about neutering my dog. Maybe he doesn't want his balls cut off, but you know what? He doesn't have a choice because he lives in my house. And
right.
he can't speak. He can't tell me no.
Yeah.
But, you know, just like a 5-year-old, you know, or whatever ages they're doing this to the children, you know, it's mutilation to a body. Let a kid be a kid, you know, let them grow and learn from their own experiences. And if they grow up, if a boy grows up liking a boy or loving a boy, that's fine. If a girl loves a girl, that's fine. Like I said, once again, you want to be a furry and you want to go fuck a tree, do whatever you want to do, but you don't throw it in people's faces. You don't have to make laws about it. Just go do what you do in your bedroom, come out and just be happy.
Oh yeah. 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 I don't care. You behind closed doors as an adult, you do what you want to do. I don't care.
You know, I don't know if you remember but when we were talking about this a couple of shows ago, and Pitbull was sitting next to me. She goes, I don't have a sign on my lawn that says I like dick, you know? Well, yeah. But you know, but there you go. If she put a sign on her lawn that said she liked dick, yeah, how many of her neighbors would be pissed off about that? They'd be like, you can't put that sign on your lawn.
At least half of them.
You know, and then there's this, you know, they just had a father who was arrested for following a male going into the bathroom. I think it was at an airport. A male who claimed he was transgender went into the women's bathroom where his little daughter was, and he ended up doing something or causing a ruckus or fighting this guy and telling him to get out of the bathroom. Well, his daughter was in there, and he ended up locking this poor guy up. I would do the same thing if I had a 6-year-old daughter and I saw a man go in the bathroom. You're damn right. I'm going to make sure that my daughter's safe, and I'm going to get that guy out of the bathroom.
Yeah, and there's story after story of males that identify as female that are using high school and college female locker rooms and then standing there looking at the females masturbating.
Yeah, just for that purpose.
Yeah, that's more of a perversion than a sexual choice, because
right.
You don't see. Well, I've been in lots of men's locker rooms because I've been in lots of gyms, the Marine Corps, high school. Guys don't stand around masturbating. That don't happen. So when you're going into a locker room to do that, that's a sexual perversion.
That 100%. You know, and Bruce Jenner, you know, I give him a lot of props too, because he came out, you know, and he wanted to transition. He always wanted to dress like a female, but he waited till later in life.
Yeah.
You know, and he doesn't support women in men and women's sports. You're taking away the competition from all these hardworking women that are out there trying to do to compete, and a male's body is biologically stronger. You know, yeah. it just that's nature, that's natural. And how are these women going to compete against each other when there's a man competing in their sports?
Right. It's almost like the 60s and 70s with the Russian athletes that were the female athletes that were competing and just wiping everybody out because they were actually men competing in the women's sport line because they said they were a woman.
Right. Yeah. And where do you draw the line? There's like a little league game, you know, the 10-year-olds playing. If you're a 15-year-old boy in high school, can you play on that little league team? Hey, I identify as a 10-year-old.
I do identify. Yeah.
I identify as a 10-year-old, and I want to play on a little league team. What's to stop them? Where do you draw the line?
A great example is that TV commercial right now, and I can't think what it's a commercial for, where the adults dressed up like a little leaguer and he goes up to bat, and the catcher, he's obviously like 20 in his 20s. The catcher's little kid goes, "How old are you?" And he goes, 10. You know, it's not what you identify as; it's what you are.
100%. And once again, we shouldn't be pushing our children into these different gender assignments. You know, I saw a comedian the other day. You know, he's a 74-year-old comedian. If you catch him on TikTok, I forgot his name, but he's great. He turned around and he made this joke, and he goes, "I'm 74 years old." He goes, "Life expectancy for a man is 81 years old." Right? He goes, "Life expectancy for a female is 86 years old." He goes, "So I think in the next few years, I think I'm going to transition."
That's right.
It's not going to make you live longer.
Yeah,
you know, and the tampons in men's rooms, and I think there's a politician, maybe it's in California, who's just said that he wants to legalize male abortions. Where are these men getting pregnant? Where are these men carrying these babies?
Yeah, well, or where's the funding actually going? Because that makes no sense, because the funding should be zero on that, but they're going to fund, if they get it through, they're going to fund a lot of money, and it's going to go to somebody because it's never going to be used.
I just don't get it. How does someone go, "Yes, men can get pregnant"?
Yeah.
Really?
Really? And then to have a group of people say, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea," and they all vote yes on it.
Yes. It cracks me. It cracks me up, but it scares me that there are people out there that think like this, you know? But who are we? We're just a couple of knuckleheads that talk on a radio show.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
With silly opinions.
It's just our opinions, man. Yeah. And like I said, man, like you said, man, just do you. Don't worry about what other people are doing, man. Have fun with life. Life is too short to really to worry about these stupid things. And, you know, politicians should get back onto the normal track of working for the public, working for their community, working for the state that voted them in, not these stupid ideas. And, oh my God, waste of time, waste of money, and waste of energy.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you know, this is not a political speech, but the Republicans in Congress are going to find out real soon. They're not going to eliminate the filibuster and get through what they need to get through. But when they lose the majority, the filibuster will be eliminated, and they're going to lose a lot of things that they should have taken care of when they had the opportunity. It's going to be a hard lesson to learn, but they're stubborn.
It's politics, bro. You know, we've gone through these waves. Who knows what's going to happen? You just gotta keep trucking on. I mean, look at New York. New York just, you know, they just voted in more communists. You know, we've seen what happens to Venezuela. We've seen what happened to Cuba. We've seen what happened to Detroit when people start moving out. New York's just going to be a wasteland. Yep. And because we've seen a lot of these policies do not work in a capitalistic society. And you know, you want to live like that, then move to Cuba, then move to Venezuela, and you'll see that these government-run grocery stores that have moldy bread on the thing, and you want to eat that, and you want to stand online for 3 hours to try to get moldy bread, God bless you. Then that's your prerogative. But it's not going to work here.
Yeah, it's a shame.
You know, and New York's going to feel the heat, man. They didn't do their research, and they voted, and this is what they're going to get. The sad part about it is the law enforcement officers that are fighting each and every day out there are going to be the victims of this, because they are going to get hurt. They're going to get defunded, and you're going to lose one of the best police forces in America. Yep. And you're just going to see that dwindle down, and it's just going to collapse and implode.
But Texas is going to have a wave of new hires.
Yeah, you know, but even so, here in Texas, you know, it's getting a little scary as well. You know, there's things happening here in Texas that they're allowing, and it is, you know, it's changing. You got to hope. That's why it's so important to get out there and vote in your local community. You And it starts with checking your school boards. Check your school boards. Make the changes there. Go to your city council meetings. Make your changes there.
Yeah, and actually, I think I covered this in a monologue several weeks ago. That's where it starts, is with the school boards. They put members in the school board because nobody wants to be on the school board. They like, I don't want to do that shit. They do, and then they change the curriculum, and then from there it moves up to the next level. City government, mayor, yep, and county councils, and then it goes, a representative within the state level, representative within the state level, at the federal level. It keeps growing. It's like a virus that just keeps spreading because nobody's stopping it.
Right. And then you got to cut it at the school board or the city council. That's why, your local votes are sometimes so much more important than your national votes.
Yeah.
Well, once again, Mongo, you bring so much to the table. I appreciate you taking so much time and effort in these monologues. And, I know you get to sip and smoke and enjoy. And you bring so much to the people that are listening. You let people think for themselves. You let them ponder on what you say. And, not looking to change everybody's mind, but just make people think a little bit about their next time they cast the ballot.
I'm just giving you an opinion. Figure it out for yourselves. Get your own opinion.
Once again, Mongo, thank you so much for everything today. So appreciate you. And we'll see you next week for America's 250th birthday. I expect you to be a little fancied up, maybe.
I will wear a red, white, and blue shirt.
All right. Sleeveless.
That's no problem. All right, brother. Have a good week.
All right, man. You too. Take care.
Bye.
Man, that was Mongo with the Mongolog. What an amazing show. And, we are here, the whole team here at the 99 is so proud to uplift, support so many different organizations throughout our communities, throughout the nation. And that's what it's about. Once again, the 1% of bad that you hear that's out there, don't let that take the wind out of your sails. Keep uplifting your neighbors. Keep holding the doors open for people. Keep saying please and thank you and show some respect, even if you're not getting any back. Because, when you hold the door open for somebody, you can be changing the trajectory of their life. You don't know what they're battling. You don't know what they're going through. And holding that door may just change their perspective of the day. When someone cuts you off, let them in. Where are they going to go? Why get road rage? Why get mad? Just let them in. Maybe they're on an emergency. Maybe they had an emergency at the house. Whatever it is, it's not us. It's not for us to decide. But you know what? Let that person in. Let them change lanes. Who cares? So you're 1 second behind them. Does not matter. Just live your life to the best and the fullest and the happiest you can each and every day. I want to thank everybody. Thank you, Judy, for tuning in, man. Prayer for the New York first responders and police. God bless you, Judy. Thank you. I appreciate that. We got so many great upcoming events. I want to thank Chance behind the board for making it work and all the new guys that are here with Fishbowl Radio Network, man. Got a whole new team here, which is great. Love to see that. When I came to this, when I came to Fishbowl almost 8 years ago, when we started the show, we had a great teams, and then it dwindled a little bit after COVID. People, things happen, and now it looks like we're building back up here in the Fishbowl, and I love it. We got a great support network. And if you want to do a podcast, you want to do a radio show, you want to DJ, whatever you want to do, man, Fishbowl is the place to go. We have a great staff here that will guide you and help you through each and even if you're just a beginner and you don't know what to do, because that's what I was, and they helped me through it. So come on down to Fishbowl and be a part of this great radio family. And if you can be anything in this world, right, Chance? Please be kind. Peace.